Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
You simply have to be willing to adapt, to course correct, to be a shapeshifter. Like, this is it, right? This is the key right now to creating the life that you want, is that you must be willing that when shit comes up, as shit will come up, that you are willing to adapt. So here's what's going on today. So our youngest son, Kai, was home from daycare yesterday. At first, he just kind of like, I'm really tired. And I don't know, he like went to bed really early the night before. We had a sitter that night, and she's like, he crashed early, and he's just kind of lethargic. And, you know, he's kind of like, he just was not well yesterday. And then he was a little bit of a fever, and so we had to keep him home. And I'm thinking, like my kids rarely get sick. Like, I mean, we almost never get sick. And so, our entire family. And so I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, he's going to be good tomorrow. He's just kind of rested, been on the couch all day. We're going to like go to bed early, and, you know, wakes up in the morning and it's like, no, he's not really much better. So we're like, fuck. Because one day is one thing, right? So for both my husband and I, we obviously work for ourselves. My husband helps chiropractors to build online messages and movement. And he's also leading men to become better fathers, husbands, businessmen, men. And running live events and group coaching. So, you know, we do everything outside of the stuff we do in person, like in our own, like from our own home, right? Or actually, it's got office spaces now too. And so you might think, well, you work for yourself, you can easily change stuff. Yes and no. I don't have like parents that can watch kids. Both my husband and I are youngest in our family, and we're both in our 40s. I mean, fuck, I turned like 50 in like a year and a bit, which is insane to me. So, you know, even if they were here, like our parents aren't well. Ed's mom passed away. His dad's kind of close to that now. And, yeah, we don't have the village. We have a village of some babysitters now, but it just so happens that none are available. You know, Ed and I had a personal appointment today, which was really important for both of us, and you know, we need to cancel that, and so it sucks. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it's, you know, when there's this thing of like, oh, but you know, the kids come first. Of course, right? Of course, I'm not gonna say no. Ship him to daycare. Let me just fucking lie. Like, you know, not. You know, yeah, I'm not gonna do something like that. He needs to be home. He needs to be home. Like, that's it, right? But the honest thing is that it's still tricky when the shit comes up. There's no calling in sick for me. Like, I have now, right now as I record this, the Woman Wanting More store has already launched. So right now, though, I'm 3 days from launch. Like, there's a lot of things still going on. I'm like, today? Okay. Like, you need to be a shapeshifter, man. Because here's the other piece of this, right? It's like, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to like, this is happening, that. You know, like, that shit doesn't change anything. All that does is get me all riled up and upset. That's all it does. Pissed off. You know, I'm Byron Katie says that, you know, when you fight against reality, you always lose. Like, you can fight against reality and go, oh, I wish it wasn't this way, and this sucks, and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't change the situation. It doesn't change the situation. The only thing that can change, and the only variable you ever have any control of over any situation, is you. And the way that you choose to see something. The way that you choose to see it. I can't change the fact my little guy's sick right now. I'm making sure he's getting lots of fluid. We're diffusing lots of essential oils. Like, yeah, like all that kind of stuff, right? For sure. But I can't force it to happen. I can believe it. And as I said to Kai last night, my buddy, you're going to feel great in the morning. This is going to be great. We'll go back to daycare. Okay, mommy. And yes, I believe that, because it's just not a reality that our kids are sick long. But, you know, here he is. He woke up, was up kind of early. Mommy, my head hurts. He still has a fever. He's just not himself. He has little moments. He's got a little bit more spring in his step than yesterday, but he's not well. You know, he needs to be home. So we've been trying to arrange like a sitter to come, and this is the one now that I've got like 3 babysitters kind of on deck, and none of them are available. And we'll see. I haven't sent the text out to one because I know one's a student, has classes. The other one, she's kind of run down. And the other one, she's like, well, I work later in the day. And I was like, well, message her back. I'm like, I will pay you double. Can you come in for 3 hours? Like, we're really in a jam right now, right? But the bottom line is, if we need to move stuff, we need to move stuff. Like, I refuse to get all caught up in the drama and the anger like I used to. Again, it's still tough. I'm not covering up the fact that I really wish that Kai was well and at daycare. I just do. You know, right now, my husband, my king, and I are going through marriage therapy. Now, it's not because we're imminent at divorce by any means, but we've just felt there's some things that are kind of like just sticky pieces when it comes to communication that we really want to have an outside source that can help us through that. And we've been to see our therapist, name as Daniel, I think three times. Like, incredible. I am so thankful that we took the step to do this. And thankful that my husband was really open to it. We've certainly had times, as you might have in your marriage, just like, we need to go to counseling and, you know, throwing out that shit. But no, this was just like, you know what, we really have things that we need to work on. Like, we're good, we're great, but these things keep coming up. It's just like a cycle, and we hit a wall with them. So we need to have somebody else. And so these times have been like the last 3 weeks in our marriage has been incredible, like incredible. Tough things that we're talking about, working through. Like doing what we fucking need to get to that next space in our marriage. And so one of the things we had today was a 2-hour session with Daniel. It's like, oh, fuck. This is so valuable. And then we're away next week, which I record this a week early. You're getting this the week that we're actually away now in Orlando. So, I mean, I wish. Yes, I wish. I wish it wasn't this way. But the reality is that it is. And the ability that you have to shapeshift when things like this come up is imperative, sister. It's imperative. Because things will never go according to plan. They just don't. I don't care how much you prepare, if this happens, I'll do that. Like, it's just shit is going to come up. Our kids that rarely get sick, suddenly here we are. Kai's sick like 2 days. So what am I going to choose to do as a result of it, right? What am I going to choose to do as a result of it? I'm also going to make the choice to not go into overwhelm. And I'm not thinking about what's the 10th step that's going to happen in my day. It's like, what's the next step? Got up in the morning, how is Kai? He's not doing great. Okay. Let me be with him a little bit, see if I can, see if maybe, he's still kind of fevering. Sometimes, the fever might break and he's suddenly just like way better. Like, he's not really. Like, okay. Let me text the sitters again, see who maybe might be able to come. Who can I fucking bribe with? Can I pay you more money to help out? Like, please, 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 we need some help, right? It's like, okay, what's the next step? Get Tyson into school. If I don't hear back from the sitters by then, now I got to email marriage therapist Daniel and say, hey, Daniel, I'm so sorry, but we got to cancel Kai, so I'm sick. I got to be home with him. We got cleaners coming each day on Friday. I know we can be there in the house, but, I'm just like, okay, so if we can't get a sitter, then I'm going to take Kai outside. It's a nice day today. We're going to go for a walk. He's going to get some fresh air. Put him in the stroller. Maybe he'll sleep, have a little bit of a nap, Like, ability to adapt. I'm recording. I have one more podcast to send to my podcast guy, Evan. And I'm like, all right, I'm record this on the way to the gym. Like, this is it, right? Answering a few emails as the kids, and I'm getting the kids ready this morning. Like, I'll do whatever I need to do. I need to adapt. And I felt myself going there with my oldest son, Tyson, was driving to school. We're talking about Easter. It's like, how many sleeps, Mommy? I'm like, it's about 2.5 weeks. How long is that, buddy? He was like, well, how long is it, Mom? He's like, well, it's about 16, 17. He's like, so then tomorrow will be 15. And Tyson has this pattern that if I tell him a number, if it's not the exact one, he'll freak out and, you lied, you told me. And so I'm like, I kind of went off him a little bit in the car. I'm like, Tyson, I can't tell you right now. I don't have a counter in front of me. Mommy's juggling a lot of stuff. I'm not like your other friends' mummies. I don't stay at home with the kids. Like, I have this and I have the business and I got stuff with Danny and your brother's not well. And I said, I don't know. Wait till we get home and get a counter, then we can figure out exactly. And he's just kind of quiet in the back. I took a breath. And I'm like, this is the first thing in my head. I'm just like, this is, I'm sorry. I said out loud to Tyson, I'm sorry, buddy. Doesn't matter the stuff the mommy's got going on. It's not okay for me to go off on you. And he to clean that up right now. I could feel myself going to that space, right? So here's a question I have to get from clients. Okay, so how do I do that? Right? You can't just go, well, just adapt, like just choose it. It's a choice. Just like in the moment, I could have chosen to just go off. I could choose that. I could choose to get mad. I could choose to get mad at my husband. I could choose to get mad at Kai and go like, dude, why aren't you fucking better? Like, what the hell? Come on, buddy. Come on. Osbournes, we don't fucking get sick. Let's go. Let's go. So how do you do that? Well, here's number one. In my day, even starting my day today, I'm off with some of this stuff, which is my more 4, adapted from core 4. My car is extra sensitive to anything that happens to be in front of it. If a leaf blows by, it's the beep that you might have heard there. It's going to go off, and the park stuff is saying, don't move, there's somebody there. What were we talking about? So, more 4. So yes, this is something I learned from Gary J. White from Warrior 3 years ago when I was first introduced to him, and his message to me was on my husband's podcast. Since my husband's been involved with Warrior over those years and will be a certified Warrior trainer in June of this year, and incorporate all the tools and technology into the training he's doing now in leading men. And it is a way to invest in what I call, when we're on to more, the 4 more pillars: spirit, family, work/business in your body, your health, every single day. And so that looks like to me is I get up early in the morning, I go downstairs, I walk my dogs, we go for a 3-minute walk, I come back to meditate, I journal, read, I send my husband a text, I then put a Facebook post up, which I'm teaching back, and I spend some time with my children. And so it's a way that I start my day in a place of power. It is necessary. If I don't have at least the movement meditation, now today, Kai was up when I got up, and I'm like, okay, again, adapt, right? I gotta learn how to shapeshift. My journaling and reading is gonna be a little bit later today. I've had to adapt that. And already feeling a little bit off with the stuff with Kai, I feel off with that. Because when I take that time and invest, and I study, and I journal, and I meditate, and I move my body, and I pour into my husband, I pour into my children, I take care of me, it allows me then to adapt when stuff comes up, right? All of these things are investments. Reminds me when I was in practice as a chiropractor. And I shared this story, I think it was recently on the podcast, but one of the podcasts, but I'll share this again because this is relevant. We would have patients who would have a health crisis. Okay, they either have some major illness. I mean, not like cancer or something. Well, it could be actually something like cancer, heart attack, stroke. And these would be patients that have been with us for a long period of time. So we as chiropractors, we practice wellness care. It wasn't just people who were hurting. It was rarely that might have brought them in the first place. But they then understood that getting the nervous system checked and clear on a regular basis helped their body to function at its best. Right? Allowed them to adapt to stress well, including physical stress. And so when our patients would have a health crisis, inevitably what would happen is they would heal really quickly. Like they would recover well. They would have doctors and surgeons go like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're healing so fast. And we'd be chuckling, going, I know exactly what you're doing. You've been investing in your health for a number of years. So now when it comes down to, push comes to shove of like, now there's something going on, like you've been preparing your body for times like this. When you take care of yourself and you fill into yourself and your husband and your children, that when stuff comes up, like you've been preparing for these times. It allows you to shapeshift and to adapt when you take care of yourself every single day. It's still a choice. I could still choose to lose my shit. I could still choose to go, this sucks. It does. But it's reality. It's not going to change. The only thing I can change is my perspective, the way that I choose to see it. And because it's now day 2 of this, it's like one day is like, no big deal. And now it's 2 days like, oh shit, we got a lot of stuff before we go away this week. And how will I choose to see it? It's up to me. Because that's going to change my outlook. That's going to really, it's not going to change the reality of the fact that Kai's still home, but it's going to change the way that I experience it. Just like I'm right now outside of my gym waiting for my coach Rob, because I'm a few minutes early to show up. There he is. I can train and have it hurt and be like, oh my God, this is so hard. Or I can be thankful that I get the chance to be here right now, which I am. So here's your more for today, then, sister. Where do you need to be adapting better in your life right now that you're just not? Like, where is that? And here's the second piece of this. If you don't already, I want you right now to subscribe to the Women Want More newsletter, because I teach you how to do more for. My version of that, there's a PDF, there's an action guide that comes along with that. In addition, there's a video training, a short video training, so you can really learn how to start your day in power. Go to the newsletter, go to the website right now, which is drkarenosborne.com, drkaren.com/action guide, and you will get that and some other training videos as well too. Plus, you're going to get VIP access to everything Women Want to More. But go ahead and do that right now and just learn how to adapt to stress, because this is key. This is a big part, because life never goes according to plan. It's the way it is, sister. It's the way it is. So listen, the Women Wanting More store, this is now day 5 since this has been launched. So I want you right now, go to shop.womenwantingmore.com. You're going to see a lot of things I talk about here in the podcast on t-shirts and tank tops and mugs and beanies and hoodies. Why? Well, because it's important to wear who you are, to help you to remember who you are, the things that matter to you, what you believe in. It's a way to really show that to the world and start the conversation. And for some of you that feel, it's hard for you to be vulnerable, you get to wear who you are. If you're not okay to say who you are yet, you can start by wearing it and start from that place. And I'm pumped, because it's been it's so exciting leading up to this. And because I record this podcast early, this is now, 3 days before the launch, but it is now day 5 if you're listening to this on the day of the podcast. So go over to shop.womenwantingmore.com, pick up all your favorite swag, and there is some opening week promotions that you can make sure to jump in on before those are gone. So I will talk the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.